People tend to look for maybe a few more suggestions with mince rather than spaghetti bolognese or chili, so I'm cooking a beautiful lamb moussaka.
Oh,
okay.
lovely.
So this is all about a little bit of preparation here, okay?
Right.
So the first thing you have to do is get yourself some potatoes, literally slice them up, parboil them for 2 to 3 minutes. It's just going to help quicken up the cooking process a little bit. So drain those off, they're ready to go.
Okay.
Now next we've got our aubergine. Now this is classic. In a moussaka. So tips to buy an aubergine, look for a nice heavy one. Have a little feel. And also, press your nail in, and if it's good, it should spring back.
So it shouldn't go too squishy.
Exactly. But what we want to do, literally slice them up, drizzle with a little bit of oil, and what I've done here is just pop them on my griddle pan, and I've just cooked those both sides, you know what I mean, just to get a bit of colour, caramelisation. And I know people always tend to worry a little bit about aubergines, you know, thinking they have to salt them and stuff. You don't need to anymore. They're not as bitter as they used to be. So this is just perfect. Just on the griddle pan or in a frying pan.
Lovely.
Couple of minutes each side, just get a bit of colour. We're ready to go.
And if you're not so keen on aubergine, could you use courgettes instead?
Without a doubt. Yeah. Definitely.
Because not everybody likes the flavour of aubergine.
No, but that's it. But I think this it's one to try. Definitely try.
Give it a go.
Right, so in this pan here, in the same pan, I'll cook my mince, which is over here. Now, this is lamb mince.
Lovely.
Cooked off, 5-6 minutes, just get a little bit of colour. Same pan, because we don't like the extra washing up. I've got 1 onion. We've got a couple of cloves of garlic, which just go in.
That's what the lovely smell is already,
Exactly.
Isn't it?
That's one of my favourite smells in the kitchen there, Kate. So that goes in. A couple of minutes. Then we're going to go in with the rest of our ingredients, OK? So I've actually got some dried oregano. If you can find fresh, it's absolutely perfect. That's going to add a real nice kind of Greek flavour to it. But then we've got a kind of warming spice. We've got some cinnamon here.
Great.
So that goes in as well. Just give that a little bit of a stir around, and you'll start to smell that, and that beautiful kind of warming, wintry kind of spicy flavours.
Yeah.
So there we are. Then we've got a few other bits and pieces. I've got some tomato puree.
Lovely.
Which goes in along with, now this is completely optional, this is a glass of white wine. It's going to add that richness and acidity, but you can always leave it out. But I want to reduce that down there.
Any particular sort of wine, any kind of white wine goes in, does it?
Yeah, what I say, if it's not good enough to drink, don't bother cooking with it, yeah?
OK. It's always good enough to drink.
Exactly.
Right, there we go.
We've got a little bit of lamb stock, but if you've only got chicken stock or something like that in the house, that's not a problem at all. And then again, it seems every time I cook for you, Kate, we've got the passata, one of my favourite ingredients.
No, you got me into that passata.
Right, so once that comes together, we want to add our mince back in.
Yeah.
And we want to cook that for around 15 minutes.
Right.
All right, so just to thicken up so it holds itself.
And it wants to go quite thick.
It does. Well, I'll show you now. Look at this. Here we go. Nice and thick.
Right, good and stodgy.
What I'm going to add to that as well is just some fresh mint. Again, you could use dried mint if you...
Be careful with your dodgy eye doing that chopping. I don't want to lose a finger as well, do we?
Right, that goes on there.
OK.
Here's my topping, cheats topping. I've got some sour cream, OK? Normally you'd make a white sauce for this, but this is dead simple. 1 egg, sour cream.
Lovely.
We've got a grating of nutmeg.
I love nutmeg. It
just
feels
for that
crisp.
cheesy kick, we've got some feta cheese.
What sort of cheese is that? Feta, lovely.
So just crumble that through. Now, once that comes together, what we're going to do is literally just layer up our moussaka. So I want some of my sauce.
On the bottom.
On the bottom. Let's just get a little bit of that on there.
We're rushing you, aren't we, Dean? He's not making this as pretty, but you know, we'll get the idea.
I can continue doing it as we go anyway.
And then you do potato
I've got
next,
a potato, then some more of the mince, then the aubergines, then our lovely topping over the top, served with a perfect Greek salad. Absolutely delicious.
That is so yummy.